Hey guys, it's Tez. Today we're doing a Q&A, a no theme Q&A. You guys asked on Instagram and Facebook, and it's been a while since I did a Q&A, so it was about goddamn time. And if you did ask a question and it is not featured in this video, it's because I've already answered it in a previous Q&A video. And I have a playlist for all my Q&A videos here on YouTube, so go check that out if you want to know more about me, I guess. You guys are always so creative with your questions. I love it. I'm gonna start with the ones on Facebook. Linda Ham wants to know, if you'd have to choose one tattoo, piercing, or modification and look completely normal aside from that, what would you choose? Ah! Oh, the horror! Shit. Okay, I guess I would want to keep something that really that you can really see. So I guess that means none of the tattoos, because you can always cover those up. I think I'd keep one of my piercings, like my septum. I love my septum, or my stretched lobes. Maybe I love those too. But holy shit, having to be without my tattoos, I don't want that. Jackie Henriette Jensen says, hi Tez, if you had to choose one hair color for the rest of your life, which color would you choose? If you had no choice and had to only use one makeup product, which makeup product would you pick? Would you ever start considering making a meet and greet for your friends? So one hair color for the rest of my life, I think I'd go with black because it's awesome and it goes with everything. I would miss the crazy colors, but then again, I could do that with makeup and clothing and stuff anyway, so I think it'd be okay. And if I had to just use one makeup product, see, this is weird because makeup does not look good when it's just one thing. I've never in my life, not even when I do super natural light stuff, only used one product. Because if I only do foundation, like my face would look completely flat. If I don't, it would be like, you could see the redness. If I only use like mascara, I guess I'd use mascara just to get a little bit of, because my lashes are pretty light and not crazy long without mascara, but shit, that would suck so bad. And I have to grow like natural eyebrows and stuff. Would you ever start considering doing a meet and greet? Yes, I would. If there was interest in stuff, I know that some people have been like, oh, come to my city and we'll do a meet and greet, and I would love to do that at some point. Right now, I don't have the funds to travel pretty much at all, so yeah. And I did ask a question if people wanted to do it here in Sweden, where I actually lived before, but the interest was kind of low. I don't think most of my fans are from Sweden, so that just kind of never happened, but it'd be fun to do it at some point, definitely. I love meeting you guys. Michaela Murray says, would you ever get a face tattoo? Yeah, sure, I would. I wouldn't want to cover my entire face because I like doing stuff with makeup, as you guys know, but I would do like something in front of my ear, maybe. I would consider that, definitely. Daphne Collier says, what's your favorite band? My favorite band is a Swedish punk band called Mimikry. They're fucking awesome and hilarious. Other than punk, I really do love Aesthetic Perfection, and I'm gonna get to see them this weekend at a festival. Whoop whoop! Azra Little says, how do you feel about people who dress up in alternative styles? Some people or groups, for example Lolita, feel that it is a lifestyle, and those who dress alternatively on occasion instead of as a rule are using their lifestyle as a costume. Listen, I don't give a fuck what people wear. I don't really care. I don't own the right to be alternative. I don't own the right to be punk or to be goth or whatever label I feel like using. People can do whatever the fuck they want. I really don't care. If you wanna do a punk or goth look for Halloween, go nuts. I don't give a fuck. I'm not offended by that. People have to make their own choices, and I am busy living my life to the point where I don't give a fuck about what everybody else is doing. I think style is there to have fun with, so do whatever you like. Yam Yam says, why are you so beautiful? Thanks, Yam Yam. Is that a real question? Because I wear a lot of makeup? Thanks though. Shelby Gable says, hey Tezzy, would you ever consider getting another dog, and if so, what breed? I think I've touched on this before, but I'll answer again because I haven't talked about the breed thing. At some point we will probably get another dog for Gaston to have a friend and a little brother, and I love poodles, so I'd be totally okay with getting a second poodle. Also, I really like schnauzers, like tiny little bearded dogs. That's what I like, so we'll see. Sangita Ragunanan says, hey Tess, if you had a choice... My dog is seeing other dogs through the window and growling at them. Come on! If you had to choose one hairstyle for the rest of your life, what would you choose? I would choose the mohawk. I love the mohawk. If you got to live in a country of your choice for the rest of your life, which would it be? I like Sweden. I would also consider living in Germany. I would really love to live in Berlin. Do you think that having children when you're married makes a marriage complete? What? No, gross. And is it a must at some point in your life? She says, P.S. I don't agree, lol. Definitely not. I don't want to have kids. I've never wanted to have kids. Not everybody does. And that has nothing to do with marriage. Marriage is like a fun way of celebrating the fact that you're in love with somebody. Having kids is something completely different. Holy shit. Zero interest in having kids. I have friends who have kids. I can borrow them if I want to play with some kids. Would you ever consider visiting a tropical country like mine, which is Trinidad? Of course. I've been to a bunch of tropical countries before. I'm not crazy about insane heat. I don't do well with that. You guys know that I like being pale. I don't like being out in the scorching sun. I just don't like being warm. Tropical country, it'd be fun to do like a 1-week vacation kind of thing, which I've done in the past. I've never been to Trinidad though. Taylor Manette says, do you have any new hairstyle plans for the near future? Or will you be rocking the Chelsea cut with different colors a while longer? I love my Chelsea cut. I'm really happy with it. So I, at the moment, have no plans of changing it up other than the hair color, obviously. I do like the mohawk. I kind of miss it sometimes, but it was a lot more high maintenance than this. Taylor also says, and your beautiful self, what would you say your favorite and least favorite features are, body or facial? Right now, I am extremely unhappy with my weight. I've gained 10 kilos in the last year, and it just sucks because nothing fit. I still look good, blah, 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 all that stuff. I know you don't have to like reinforce me or whatever. My clothes don't fit me anymore, and I don't like that. I don't have the money to replace my entire wardrobe, so, and I'm just kind of disappointed with myself for being lazy and sloppy when it comes to food. So yeah, I want to get back into that weight that I had before, and I felt really happy with that. Sorry about my growling dog. Like, I feel healthier when I'm lighter too. So yeah, losing that weight would be fantastic, and I'm working on it. It's just gonna take some time. You can't rush these things. And favorite part of myself, I really like my eyes. I love the fact that they're crazy dark brown. Chloe Mazel Canfield says, what gothic stereotype do you get annoyed by or simply disagree with? It really bothers me when people think that all alternative people are depressed or cutters, or wearing black means that you're so sad and you hate everybody. Like, I'm a happy person most of the time, and my style or whatever does not affect that. It's just weird to assume that you're constantly pissed off or sad just because you dress a certain way. A Swedish follower, Josefin Karlsson, says, vilka festivaler blir det i sommar? Which means, which festivals are you gonna go to this summer? So the only big festival that I have planned is Subkult, which is this motherfucking weekend. So by the time this video is up, I'll probably be at the festival. Really excited. That is a 2-day festival, so I'm staying at a hotel for 3 days. And it's in Trollhättan, which is like the southwest of Sweden, so it'll take me 6 hours to get there by bus, and the bus is like chartered by the festival people, so it's gonna be a bus fully loaded with festival goers. I'm so excited. A bunch of my friends are coming. One of my friends is staying in a hotel room with me, and I'm gonna get to see aesthetic perfection. Fuck yes! I don't know a whole lot about most of the bands. You guys know that I'm into punk, and this is not a punk festival, unfortunately. So the music is not the main thing for me, and actually it rarely is at festivals. I just like the vibe of a festival. I like being there with people, meeting people, looking awesome, dressing up, all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited about that. I'll probably do some 1-day festivals here in Stockholm as well, where you don't have to spend the night or anything like that. I've already done one actually this year, which was a punk festival. That was awesome. Z Milton says, what is your least favorite look that you've done on your hair? People change, and I did love it at the time, but now I don't see myself ever doing really big pink fluffy dreads again. I'm not into cute stuff at all anymore, and I know you guys consider me cute, but that's not a word I would ever use for myself. And I just, those pink dreads, yeah, I would not feel at home at all in that style anymore, at least not at the moment. I kind of grown out of that. I don't know if I'm gonna wear dreads at all again. We'll see what happens. You never know, but just not pink ones. It's too cute. Lisa Lister has, holy shit, that is one long message. Okay. Do you have a recommendation for makeup that will survive outdoor sports for a couple of hours in extreme temperature? Airbrush. Just use anything that is waterproof. And also, if you have to do sports in extremely hot weather, I wouldn't wear makeup at all under those circumstances. You're gonna shower after working out anyway, so just fucking skip the makeup. Also, could you tell us more about what went in organizing the alternative market? How would one go about organizing a market in their community? Pros, cons, and just more about your general experience. Was it really hard and time consuming? How many people were involved to help? It was super exciting and inspiring. Thank you. Okay, I'll try to keep this short. So on May 7th, I organized an alternative flea market here in Stockholm, and I made a video on it if you haven't seen it already, if you want to see what it looked like. And the thing is, I've been working with PR and communications since 2007, so it's going on 10 years now. So I know how to arrange events. Like, I haven't done anything like this before, but I've been working on events and on marketing events and stuff like that for years. So this is not new territory for me in that manner. So how to go about spreading the word, like the marketing, calling media, creating posters, things like that, like ads on Facebook, whatever, these kind of things, I knew what to do. The thing that was new territory was finding and renting a big ass venue and stuff like that, but it all worked out, and I did everything up until the point of the flea market myself. So all the planning, all the arranging, finding all the sellers, buying everything that needs buying, blah blah blah, like whatever, all the marketing, all that stuff, I did that. So it was a lot of work, but because I'm a freelancer, I had the time to do that. But then during the flea market, I had 7 of my friends help me, and they worked the floor and worked the cashier and stuff like that. So I couldn't have done the actual event on the day by myself, but the planning was fine to do by myself. But for next time, because we are gonna go again, I'll probably get a partner, like somebody to help me do the marketing and all that kind of stuff. We can do it on an even larger scale, because it is a lot of stuff to take on as one person. But the first time is always a test run, you know? Pros and cons, we had some issues with the sound. Again, you never know these things until you try, and we realized that we could have shoved even more sellers in there, so we'll probably go even bigger next time. But yeah, I was super excited, and it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to go again. How has the success of your YouTube channel affected your life? Free stuff from vendors, profitable income? Do people recognize you on the street from YouTube? I don't know if I would say success on YouTube. Like, yeah, sure, I get free stuff and it's fun, but this is not a source of income for me. I get a little bit off of ads, but not nowhere near enough to live off of. So you guys know that I have my own company and I actually work for a living. Like, I love YouTube and stuff, but I don't make a bunch of money off of this. No. And yeah, people do recognize me on the street now and then. It doesn't happen all that often. Like I mentioned before, Sweden, I don't think is my main target group for followers, but it does happen and it's fun. Again, I love meeting you guys, because the feedback from you guys and you guys in general is the reason that this channel exists and works. Last question on Facebook is from Julie Bosek. Since when do you have an alternative style? How long did it take you to find your style? Do you have pictures to illustrate the steps you pass into? Sorry, I don't speak English very well. So Julie, I've answered this in the past in the previous Q&A video, so I'll just quickly touch on it. Like, I've always tried different styles. My brother's a punk, so I have a soft spot for punk, and I always have. I tried all kinds of different stuff, even as a kid. Like, I changed my hair a lot, my style a lot, played with makeup. I've done stuff like this all the time. I didn't become fully alternative until I was in my early 20s though. Like, I tried a bunch of stuff until then. That's all I'm going to say about it right now, because again, it is featured in a previous video, so I recommend that you go have a look at that. And we have to move on to the questions on Instagram now. Flaming Witch says, what is your favorite animal and why? I love dogs. They're awesome and sweet and loyal and fun. I love you. Vincent says, have you stopped wearing dreads? For now, I have, yes. I don't have an interest in them at all anymore. I really love my Chelsea cut, but we'll see what happens in the future. Melib1991 says, where do you see your career going in 5 to 10 years? Have you ever thought of having your own makeup collection or capsule clothing collection? And I'm not planning on having my own collections of any kind at the moment. Career-wise, I hope I actually have a physical, awesome studio. Like, I don't mind working from home, but it would be fun to have a studio. I could have a room for photography. I could have like all kinds of equipment just jammed in there, and it wouldn't have to take up all the space that it does in our home. But it's expensive to rent a studio, so I can't do it right now, but hopefully I'm able to do it in a couple of years. That would be so much fun. Poseidon935 says, I've noticed a few posts where you've worn less makeup and toned down clothing for various reasons. Where do you draw the line of, yeah, I'll tone it down, and fuck that? The only time I tone down for somebody else, other than me just feeling like not going all out, is for work. I do most of my work from home, so it doesn't really matter what I look like, but sometimes I do go on location, and a lot of that time it is to interview and record people, like film them and make videos out of it, and it can be distracting if I'm like all dangly and colorful and la la la. So I'm just kind of trying to make things easier on the client at that point. And a lot of the time I'm meeting new people and you never know how people are going to react, and it's just an unnecessary fucking discussion to have to take. I've never had to do it since I started freelancing. People are happy and open and they don't really care, but you never know. And also, like, I'm not a morning person anymore. I used to be, but I'm kind of not. And I have to get up early when I'm gonna go meet clients, and I don't have time to sit and do like a whole face and stuff. I'll just throw some basic things on and run off. So it's kind of a mix of being lazy and of being respectful. But for other occasions, like I'll always look like myself. I'm not less Tez just because I'm toned down. That's just not how it is. Some days I just don't want to wear makeup, or I want to wear less makeup. That's completely fine. Or I don't want to wear crazy clothes. Like today I'm just in this H&M big old shirt thing, and that works fine. City Rocks 13 says, any future plans now that you're married? Getting married doesn't affect my future plans at all. So I don't know how to answer that. Any plans I had before, I still have. Some Bikini Meow says, any more tattoos or piercings planned? No piercings planned, a lot of tattoos planned as always, but I don't have the funds, so it's gonna take some time, and I'm not gonna get into any of it right now because you never know, these things change. So you guys will keep getting updates in the form of videos whenever I get something new. Lily Rocks a Lot says, new hairstyle would you like to try next? Again, I still love my Chelsea cut, so I have no interest in switching it up right now, but once I get bored with it, I kind of want to do that really weird bowl cut, you know, like saving out hair and then just going bleh, like that. I think it looks so cool. I've sort of done that before, but I haven't done it like all in, so at some point I'll probably do that. It's just a fun, annoying haircut. Jane C. Skidabrowski, oh my god, I suck at names. Jane, let's call her Jane, says, I know you watch RuPaul's Drag Race. Has drag influenced your style, and if so, in what way? I love drag queens, and I love RuPaul's Drag Race, and I love over-the-top makeup, as you guys know. So the way that drag makeup has mostly affected the way that I do makeup, I guess, is by the shading and contouring. Today I don't have crazy much of that going on, but for parties and when it's nighttime, I can go like all in with the crazy shading and do my nose like they're really thin and stuff. I love that. I love exaggerated makeup. It's so much fun, and it's not just for drag queens. Kitty Kaboom says, what are your favorite scents or perfumes? I'm not gonna name brands and stuff, but I really like the smell of rose. So that is my absolute favorite scent. I don't like being super perfumey though, and Mr. Tez doesn't like it either, so I'll try to keep as much as my natural scent as I can. What a douchebag thing to say. Okay, the Vampiest Vamp says, do you have a favorite season, and are you a day or a night person? I love fall, because there's Halloween and stuff, and I'm a day person. Yeah, I get super sleepy. I like being nocturnal sometimes, but no. I sleep during the night and I'm active during the day. 409 Poetry says, do you have a favorite brand or pair of boots that have lasted a long time? Yes, I still have my wine red 20-hole Doc Martens from when I was 16, and I wear them all the time, and I fucking love them. Also, with your recent DIY videos, are you more of a pocket person than a purse bag person? Thanks. No, definitely not. I have too much crap for it to fit in pockets. That's why I'm constantly remaking pockets into like belt bags and stuff, because I need a bunch of pockets for all my shit to fit in. My favorite bag is the one by Restyle though, that I'm sure that you guys have seen, like the harnessy looking one. Oh, love that shit. It's kind of tiny though, so not a lot of my crap fits in there. I should always wear like a big ass backpack. Tasha4699 says, what made you decide to become a goth? I don't really identify as goth anymore. I go by punk instead, but gothy punk or whatever you want to call it. And it was not like a decision that I made like this, I'm gonna become this now. It's just a process, and you kind of morph into something, and then you identify with it or you don't. The number issue says, what are your thoughts on meditation and spiritual awakening? I do meditation sometimes, not very often, sometimes though, if I'm really stressed out, and you guys know that I love ASMR, so I combine the two. I believe in science, so spirituality is not my thing at all. Phantasm84 says, I'd like to know your stance on veganism, vegetarianism for your videos. From your videos, I think you're a pescatarian. Yeah, listen, hey, anything you can do to save animals is awesome. Everybody's gonna do their own thing and make their own choices based on the lifestyles and the geography or whatever they have going on. I chose to be a pescatarian instead of a vegetarian because I felt it was too limiting. I don't eat fish all that often though. It's maybe like once or twice a week and the rest is vegetarian stuff. I eat vegan sometimes too, but I haven't eaten meat in over 2 years and I don't miss it one bit. Phantasm84 says, do you have advice for situations when people are speaking to you negatively about your alternative look? People who are friendly and inquisitive is one thing, but I think you know the type I'm referring to. I have a tendency of being too nice in these situations, so I'd love a quick one-liner. My usual go-to like fast one-liner if people are like, why do you look like that? Is because I like it. I like these things, you like those things, people are different, we're individuals, let me do my thing and you can do your thing. Okay, bye-bye. People asking, why do you wear that? Why do you look like that? Why the fuck do you think? Is there any other reason to look a certain way other than you actually liking looking that way? When people are friendly, it's fine. When they're assholes, it's just like, but I'm not you. Why would I look the way you think I should look? I don't know you and you don't know me, so why should I listen to you? Okay, bye. Spicy Boy says, what's your view on labels such as goth or emo? Use whatever you want, man. It's fine. I identify with punk or alternative. Those are the ones I use for myself. Everybody gets to use their own thing and I don't really give a fuck. Sedmi Kraski says, ¿Hablas algo de español? Sí, hablo un poco, pero no he estudiado nada después del bachillerato. So yeah, I do speak a bit of Spanish, but I haven't studied anything since I finished high school. Spookerific says, I love your makeup, but I'm afraid to try it myself. Any suggestions for older folks who want to be as daring as you? Listen, I'm 35. I'm no teenager. You just gotta do it. There are no rules. I hate the whole dressing or acting your age. That's so stupid. There's no one way to be just because you're a certain age. It's stupid. We are individuals. Do your thing, try different things, and don't worry so much about what other people are gonna think, because their opinion doesn't matter. Do what you like, try things, enjoy, explore. That's what life is about. Final question, you guys. This is a long ass video. Jules and Skull says, do you listen like Lady Gaga, Marina and the Diamonds, and Paramore? I've never heard of Marina and the Diamonds, so I have no idea who that is. I've seen Lady Gaga live once when she came here to Stockholm a couple years ago. She's fine. It's not my favorite kind of music, but it's fine, and she does great things when it comes to the LGBT community, for instance, so I like her. And Paramore, sure, it's like a nice, light rock, easygoing kind of music. I like their older stuff more than I like their new stuff though. That is it. Holy shit, that was a lot of questions, you guys. Thank you so much to everyone who asked. And again, if you did ask a question that wasn't featured, it's because I've already mentioned it in previous videos, okay? So go check out my Q&A playlist. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!